Hey everybody, welcome back to Vegas Tips and Tricks, and today is a special program dedicated to comps. We're going to call it Comps 101 because outside of the hey, where should I stay and the how do I get cheap airfares question, the third probably most popular question that I get asked is how do I get free stuff? How do I get these comps? What are they? Well, first of all, it's not free, okay? You know how you go get your oil changed and they got the magazines there, they got the Sports Center up on the TV, they got the comfy chair, the coffee and the donuts, and you can just relax in their lounge. They don't hand that out to homeless people, okay? That's for customers. Those are complimentary services that they provide to you because you chose to get your car, the oil changed in your car. And it's the same thing with the casinos. They're not really giving you anything for free. They're giving you something complimentary because you're a customer of theirs. And you can get more of these complimentaries depending on how good a customer they think you are. The only way they can tell is if you get and use your player's card. They're free. Yeah, you have to tell them where you live. You could give them a phony phone number and a phony email address if you want to, but whatever. But they use the Players Club card to track how much you're spending in their casino, and based upon that number they're willing to give you something back in the form of comps. Now traditionally everybody has qualified for certain comps, particularly in Las Vegas. You know, you could it was always free parking, even free valet parking. Well, that's changing. A lot of hotels, in fact most of the major hotels on the Las Vegas Strip now will charge you for parking unless you're a particularly good customer. We'll talk about tiers, tiered cards next week, but that's one of the ways they use that. And the other sort of common complimentary was always the free drink or the free cocktail. The original $20 trick was you sidled up to the video poker bar, the bartender walked over to you, you slid a 20 in the machine, you winked at the guy, he asked if you wanted a beer or a cocktail, you got it. You tipped him regularly, the beers kept coming, you didn't even really have to play that much. Anymore, a lot of the casinos are tracking your play using your card and making sure that if you're sitting there getting free beverages that you're actually playing. So those traditional freebies are not as free anymore. Now you can still kind of hang out on the casino floor and play only intermittently. But then you're kind of at the mercy of how often the cocktail waitress comes around, and sometimes they don't come around very much. But in any case, the basis for comps, complimentaries, is two things. The casino has to know how much you're spending in their casino, and based upon that, they're willing to rebate back a certain percentage to you in terms of free goodies. Several things play into the number that the casino uses. That number is called the ADT, or the Adjusted Daily Theoretical. It sounds complicated. It's probably meant to sound complicated, but it's not complicated. There's not a lot of math involved. Let's say you walk into a casino and you have $100 in your pocket, $100 that you are prepared to lose. You sit down at a particular machine and you play your $100. You win some, you lose some. Sometimes you have some nice little wins. You keep playing. They bring you cocktails from time to time. You're having a good time. Several hours later, you finally run out of money. Well, in your mind, you've lost $100. But in the mind of the casino, they don't really care whether you won $100 or lost $100. What they care is how much you played. So if you were betting $2 a spin and spinning that particular slot machine 10 times a minute, that's $20 a minute, or in the course of an hour, $1,200. In the course of 2 hours, almost $2,500. Now, that's how much money you wagered, how much money you risked, because you recycled your winnings back into that machine and continued to play. Had you won initially $20 and decided, ooh, I'm going to leave with a profit, you would have only wagered like $2. As it was, you played through your winnings and you played through your original stake of $100, and it turned out you actually ran $2,500 through that machine. Now let's say that the casino knows that is a slot machine. You don't know this, of course, but the casino knows that that's a slot machine that pays back 90% of what you put into it. So their take is 10%. If you ran $2,500 through a particular machine and the casino's take was 10%, you're worth $250 to that casino. Now, over the course of time, based upon the days that you visit that casino, you will develop this adjusted daily theoretical. If that's essentially what you do every time you come into the casino, your adjusted daily theoretical might be $250. Now, that's what the casino expects to take from you every day that you visit. In return, they're willing to give you something back. They're not going to give you $250 back or $500 back. They're typically going to give you somewhere between 25 and 50%, probably more towards the lower end of that number, maybe a third. So if you regularly lose $250, or they think, based upon the games you're playing and how much, that you should lose an average of $250 a day, they will give you back, say, $75, $80, $85 in complimentaries. Now, if it's kind of a rundown or a lower-end casino in Las Vegas, that might be a free room. Maybe the rooms are $50. Hey, you've got $83 due. They'll give you a free room. Hey, we're going to even throw in $20 worth of free play. We'll just give you $20. Come stay with us. We'll give you $20. You can play. Maybe we'll give you a free buffet even. Now, they're willing to give you that money because they're expecting you to continue to come into the casino and play at the same level that you played or have played before. If that number starts going down, if you take your $100 in and you lose it in a half an hour and you only run $400 or $500 through the machine, guess what? That'll drop your advanced or your adjusted daily theoretical, and that's the basis on which they give you stuff. So if you have some losing sessions and you don't run as much money through the machine, guess what? You may not get that free room. You may not get that free play. You may not get much back from the casino if your $100 disappears very quickly. So that's how they base it. It's not that complicated. Now, there are exceptions to that rule. One of them kind of involves a little bit of a trick, I guess, and I'll cover that one first. If you've never played at a casino before, and you walk in the door and you get your player's card, and you go to a machine, and you play for a while, the only thing they have to judge you on is that single day of play. Now, in some casinos you may need multiple days of play to qualify for, freebies. But a lot of times, if you play a little bit, or particularly if you play a lot, you may get what's called a teaser offer. And they may say, hey, this is a person that's played a little bit. Maybe if we offer them a free room for a couple of nights, give them some free play, some free food, maybe they'll come back in and they'll become a better customer and will start to spend more money in our casino. Now, usually that only works once. If you burn them on it, you come back in, you stay at the hotel and you hardly gamble, guess what? You're not getting that again. So sometimes you can get offers from hotels that are significantly sort of nicer than you might normally get offers from, and that's simply because they don't have as much to judge you on, and so they're hoping to develop you as a player. You can also sometimes get offers from casino marketing which don't make a lot of sense, but a lot of times they'll pull sort of things out of a database. Hey, we're looking for 30 to 50-year-old males from the Los Angeles area who've played with us before but haven't been here for 18 months, and they may pull an offer out and say, hey, here's a couple of free rooms, come stay with us. So you do get offers like that once in a while, and again, the teaser offers are nice, particularly if you're just first visiting a casino. It's probably not going to work a second time, okay? So one thing you can do to create the illusion that you have a higher ADT than you actually do is by concentrating your play. Now, if you're staying at a particular hotel, they know you're there. If they know you're there for 3 days, they're going to look at how much you've you've wagered over a 3-day period, and based on that they're going to adjust it. But if you're not staying in the hotel and you go, if you want to gamble in a particular place, don't move around every day. If you're in Las Vegas and you want to gamble, let's say you really like the MGM Grand and you really like Planet Hollywood, and you like to gamble in those two places, well, you're much better off spending one day and concentrating your play at MGM Grand and one day playing at Planet Hollywood, because they only have that one day to base your evaluation on. So you'll play more through their machines. You'll be seen as a more valuable player who gets more stuff than someone who splits up their play between the casinos every day. So that's something to remember. The bad news about comps is that the people that play the worse machines tend to get better comps, which makes sense. They're more valuable to the casino. If you're playing video poker or blackjack, and with expert play, you're going to get 98–99% of your money back in the long run, your adjusted daily theoretical is going to be pretty small. If I play $2,500 playing a video poker machine where the casino's only going to get 1% back, that's actually only worth $25 to them. Compare that to the machine that we played at earlier that returned only 90% to you, the gambler, and that person was worth $250. So the better game you play, the smarter you are in terms of choosing a good machine in the casino, the less typically you're worth to the casino, which makes perfect sense. Now that doesn't mean that a blackjack player or a video poker player can't get very good comps, but they're going to have to wager at a higher level or over a longer period of time in order to get them. That explains, if you think about it, if you sit down at a blackjack table and you bet $25 a hand, it feels like you're spending much more than if you sit down at a slot machine and you spin it for $1.50 a spin. But your expected loss is so much greater, and the pace of play is much greater at a slot machine. So in the long run, you're actually going to lose significantly more. So I don't want to encourage you to play bad machines or play games with a high house edge, but that is a factor in terms of the comps that you receive. Of course, again, you're not going to receive any comps if the casino does not know that you are playing. So you have to have a player's card, you have to use it, whether at the tables or at the machine. When you insert it into the machine, make sure the little green light comes on and it welcomes you to the casino. If something is wrong, get it fixed, because you don't want to play if you're not going to get paid back for your play. Now it goes without saying you should not try to play more just to earn more comps, because again, in the long run, you're going to lose. So don't raise the level of play, but perhaps play smarter. Make sure you always use your card. Concentrate your play at specific casinos on specific days. Take advantage of the offers that are given to you, whether it be free play or free food, because if you don't, you're not going to get that benefit. So that's a little bit about comps. We'll call that Comps 101 today. There's so much more we can talk about in terms of comps, talking about tier levels and player development and hosts and things like that. And we're going to cover those next week on the show. We are approaching 600 subscribers. Thank you very much. We've had a nice, been averaging 1 or 2 new subscribers a day, so I hope we're going to get to the 600 mark this week. With the trip coming up next month, hoping to push that up into the $700 or $800 range. $800 range? 800 subscriber range. Trust me, you don't get paid $700 for having 700 subscribers. But hoping to get that number up to 1,000 by the end of the year. Would love to be sort of an official YouTube channel. Send me $1.50 a month. So as always, hope that you enjoyed this video, got something out of it. If you did, please hit the like button, please subscribe, please leave your comments if you've had experiences with comps, and if you have any questions that you'd like me to address next week. Until next week, I hope that you have had a great and lucky day, and will have a great and lucky weekend, and we will see you soon.